The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. The New York Post took a look at Meghan Markle's most shocking The Tig blog posts. One that the Post found shocking was from January 2016, just several months before she met Harry, in which Meghan made a series of New Year's resolutions such as leaving unladylike habits behind. Her goals included running a marathon, not swearing, and easing up on biting her nails. However, she also noted that she wouldn't knock herself down as she couldn't follow through with her own promises to herself. Her other objectives for 2016 were to approach life playfully and leave room for magic. In another post, the former actress talked about her now ex-friend Jessica Mulroney. She's savvy and fashionable and très cool and also va-va-voom pretty. And here's the other thing, she also happens to be an incredible stylist, clothing the likes of Canada's First Lady, Sophie Trudeau. And in one January 2015 post, Markle recalled her audition process for Suits. I kept forgetting my lines. I was distracted and I blew it, which sucks because I really wanted this one. I really like Rachel. Meghan consoled herself by eating her feelings and munching on pizza. Meghan was asked to come in for a callback. The producers told her to change her appearance to look more conservative, think hair pulled back and business attire. She recalled, I had no idea that this late August morning of 2011 would change my life. That I would get the part, that I would live in a little apartment in Manhattan to shoot the pilot. That over a lunch of lentil salad and muhammara on Beverly Drive, I would get a call saying we were picked up, that I would film the series in Canada. Edmund Fryer was the etiquette expert brought in to teach Meghan the royal ways, and he is disappointed in Megxit, telling The Sun. When they were first talking about leaving, they were talking about being ambassadors to the world, helping out the Commonwealth, being involved with disabled people. They had a great opportunity. There's not really been much heard from them on anything like that. Ever since the Netflix thing came up and the Oprah interview and things were being mentioned about racism in the royal family and so on, it tainted it. Fry says that customers on his tea room have lost interest in the Sussexes, although after this week we'd push back on that notion. Fry said, you couldn't give a book away on Meghan anymore. Not here. It's a different story now to how things were. Totally. It's a done deal. Positive comments about Harry and Meghan are out the window now, gone completely. They're getting on with their life, and that's wonderful. And they made a tremendous amount of money and the success with it. So I hope they can use that money, like my wife Mary and I have, to start a school for just 12 children in Kenya, which now has 800 pupils. On a similar note, a 2017 interview resurfaced this week in which Prince Harry said, we, the royal family, don't want to be just a bunch of celebrities, but instead use our role for good. Royal expert Richard Kay, speaking on the documentary Harry and Meghan Is America Turning Against Them, said of Harry, not staying long during coronation weekend. That was unwise. It looked petulant. It inferred, I'm only here because I've got to be here because I'm the king's son, but I can't wait to be away. On the same program, royal correspondent Tom Quinn added, the royal family will be deeply upset by the fact they have this loose cannon, someone William was once close to. Palace Intrigue will be right back.
I'm Kate.
And I'm Corinne.
We host the podcast Pop Fiction Women,
where we deep dive into the best books, TV, and movies,
as well as the women creating them.
So who are we?
Corinne is a lawyer who worked on Wall Street. She loves psychological thrillers that keep her guessing and has a soft spot for messy women trying to break cycles of addiction and self-sabotage.
And Kate is a litigator who worked at some of the top international law firms. She loves romantic comedies that keep her swooning and has a soft spot for the ice queens who learn to let their heart lead over their heads.
We cover a range of content like When Harry Met Sally, Fleabag, Yellow Jackets, Normal People, and Tell Me Lies.
And we also interview your favorite authors like Emily Giffin, Tia Williams, and Rebecca Searle.
Where we always ask the most important question of all, what's your sign?
Subscribe or follow Pop Fiction Women wherever you get podcasts.
The Daily Mail asked this question, why will a portrait of Harry and Wills be excluded from the National Portrait Gallery? The National Portraits Gallery £35 million revamp features a host of new public spaces and a late-night cocktail bar, but Nicky Phillips' 2010 portrait of William and Harry will not be among them. The portrait depicts the brothers, who were at the time lieutenants in the Household Cavalry Regiment, in their full blues and Royals mess uniforms. The gallery will not reveal why the well-regarded regal picture has not been included among the works on display for its reopening. However, both the gallery and Kensington Palace have insisted the decision was not at the request of the royal family. A spokesman for the gallery told The Times, "Decisions relating to the portraits on display at the National Portrait Gallery are made by the gallery's curatorial team. We are only able to display a small percentage within our building." Among the patrons of the National Gallery, Catherine, the Princess of Wales and spouse of Prince William. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, YouTube, or your app of choice. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue, and good times.
All right, enough with the negativity. Hi, I'm Johnny Mack, host of 5 Good News Stories. It's a podcast twice a week. Every episode, I curate 5 heartwarming, uplifting news stories from around the world, showcasing the best of humanity, tales of kindness, fun animal stories, quirky items in the news, and you know what? More often than not, something about McDonald's. Can't explain why. I'll bring you a range of stories that will leave you feeling hopeful and optimistic. Start your day on a positive note. The number 5 Good News Stories. It'll make you smile to start your day on a good note. 5 Good News Stories, wherever you get your podcasts.